Iowa's starting lineup won this Big Ten tournament last season in Indianapolis. And the question with this team is always, how do you slow down the nation's top offense? And for more on that, let's bring in Megan McEwen.
Sloan, you nailed it on the head. The nation's top offense averages 88 points a game, and the Hawkeyes are tremendous when they get out and run. That's why Purdue head coach Katie Gerald says they have to cut off the head of the snake early, and that's Caitlin Clark. The moment Purdue puts up a shot on offense, they're sending one person to tag Clark to make sure Iowa cannot get the rebound, get it to Clark, and allow her to start the break. Because when Iowa gets going fast and Clark's going downhill, that's when the Hawkeyes become lethal.
Thanks, Megan. Christy, the first meeting between these two teams went handily for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Keys for this second matchup.
Well, for Purdue, they are going to need to have fantastic defensive transition against this Iowa Hawkeyes team. Iowa, on the other hand, they want to get a bevy of fast break points in this contest. Pushing the tempo has been their MO, mostly because Caitlin Clark can get it and go off the glass.
The reigning Big Ten Tournament champions take the floor for the first time in the 2023 tournament. And we are underway in what feels like a Hawkeye home game here at Target Center, just about 4 hours south, or north rather, of Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Both teams have the same colors, so it's hard to tell who's who, but we can tell when Clark hits shots like that.
Already, Caitlin Clark nailing a three.
That is something that she has mastered over the course of her stellar 3-year career so far. The junior, wearing the Hobie Grinches on her feet, knocks that one home.
Oh, good call on that, Christy. Sneakerhead.
Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark, reading, surveying, and then
what's interesting about Clark, Christy, is she's actually shooting better in Big Ten play, over 40% from downtown. Kate Martin, also a threat. Leaves it short that time. And Janae Terry, two outstanding rebounding point guards in this matchup with Clark and Terry.
Well, that skip pass is going to be there because of how hard Purdue sinks in up the line defensively.
Abby Ellis setting up Caitlin Harper perfectly.
I love Abby Ellis. I love the energy that she brings to her team on both sides of the ball. She is all over it. She sets up her team as a conductor of offense on every single play, and she can make her own buckets as well.
Coming off a 19-point outing in their most recent win, a 2-point win over Wisconsin. Game-winning three. It was Iowa strong for the outset, led by 21 at the half.
Steele holding her spot right at that mid-level, right in the slot area of the court. Tough to guard that once you steal a ball.
Laisha Petrie, her second year in the Big Ten, first at Purdue, getting the assignment on Caitlin Clark, staying with her along the perimeter as Czinano scores over 3 defenders.
You can bring people to her if you want to. Monika Czinano keeps that ball nice and high. Chin it and lift it. That's exactly what she does inside. That's why she shoots almost 70% from the floor.
Very rarely even takes a dribble as well. Iowa now with numbers. Caitlin Clark all the way. She's stopped. And Petrie will collect the loose ball.
That's what Caitlin Clark wants to do. That's why I said fast break points would be one of the keys, pushing pace.
Deep for Laisha Petrie. And Clark pushing, and that's exactly what she does. Full head of steam for 2.
You got to stop Caitlin Clark before she gets to the top of the key, because it's going to be a danger zone. She gets downhill, she gets by 2 or 3 defenders for Purdue. That cannot be the norm in this game, or it's going to be a long night for Purdue.
Purdue 1 for 4 to start. Backdoor cut. Cassidy Harding is blocked. One more try, not there. And then the putback finally complete. Kate Martin, she's got speed too, and the spin. One of the best fast break scoring teams in the entire country is Iowa. Cassidy Harding off target. And Purdue continues to struggle from the field, under 30% shooting as Czinano has position, doesn't need a dribble.
Bringing her A game to the tournament. Came back for a 5th season this year for a reason. Just wanted to do a repeat.
got her 2,000th point of her career against this Purdue team. Janae Terry nails the jump shot. Clark, deep. One and done for the Hawkeyes.
Lisa Bluder will live with that shot, because she's seen too many of those go down. So she's not going to harness Caitlin Clark in, like, hey, don't take that shot, because what about the last game, the dramatics of the three that she pulled to win that one over India?
With both these teams coming off of incredibly emotional wins.
You know, make a read in transition. And if I'm coming back and that's not my personal match that was on the whiteboard, it's our match. Somebody's got to stop the ball. Somebody's got to pick up whoever's in their area. So as an offensive player, you take advantage of that. Those are mismatch opportunities that you can just go ahead and score in.
I'll be interested to see what does happen with Janae Terry offensively, because a lot of teams do sag off of her. She's an amazing distributor and rebounder, 7 and 6 per game respectively, but just 6 points per game at the point guard position. Will she be forced into taking more shots? Here's yesterday's hero, Jayla Smith. She's got her first shot.
And that was smooth, contested by Monika Czinano as well. But that shot yesterday, that was a big-time money bucket to advance Purdue to this round.
Just a 26% three-point shooter this season, knocked down 2 of her attempts yesterday. None bigger than the one with 4.1 seconds left. Here's Clark off glass, too pretty.
What do you do with a player like Caitlin Clark defensively? I mean, she has size and speed and skill with her shot in terms of being on balance when she lifts it.
Ricky Waltman makes the pass and then the stuff, but a foul.
She got her up top clean, but it was the after, the swipe down.
Lisa Bluder leading this Iowa team, one of the most successful coaches in Big Ten history. In fact, this season surpassed the legend C. Vivian Stringer for most regular season Big Ten victories all time.
How about that? C. Vivian Stringer, a 50-year career in women's basketball. Took 3 teams to a Final Four. Cheney State, which there's a great documentary out right now. If you haven't seen it, look that up. And then went to Iowa, took Iowa to a Final Four and Rutgers.
Score for the Hawkeyes.
Basketball has taught her to be bold-minded, so you love that.
Alicia Petrie keeping it alive. About 2 seconds between the shot and game clock to end this first quarter. And a turnover for the Boilmakers. Caitlin Clark appealing to the referees. Did get the whistle, though. She was pushing through traffic. Final shot for Iowa. With the left hand, slices through, but stripped. Excellent interior defense. Especially when you have players like Monika Czinano and McKenna Warnock, 3-year starters who will be departing. Let them go out and bang.
No doubt. They return 11 players on this roster for Iowa, so players have tasted the thrill of victory.
Purdue shooting just 25%. It has been a rough going to try and find quality shots and to put them in as well. Jayla Smith just saving it from going out of bounds, but Purdue is not found to flow on this possession. The lob inside, and it's safe.
Not even in any attack areas, like 3 feet behind the three-point line until they got that last layup.
Good effort by Cassidy Harden, breaking up that pass. It's a turnover for the Hawkeyes. Layden surveying. Daughter of a coach. Tries to get it inside, went overhead, and it's knocked away. Caitlin Clark sizing up the defense, goes right back at them in the paint. It is Gabbie Marshall for 3.
Smart offense by the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa leading by 10. Awkward shot by Petrie. Waltman takes her time and nets it.
You want to take the shots that you want to take. They want you to pull those and stuff.
Gabbie Marshall, she's got another one. Her shooting helps everyone, takes pressure off Caitlin Clark, and Iowa feeling good, forcing a timeout, leading 25-14.
Let's not get it lost, okay? The individual awards are great, but I bet you ask each one of those players who received the individual award if they want to win a championship, they'll all say, take that back. I'll take the team win over anything else.
Janae Terry with 10 seconds left for the Boilermakers. Long two for Terry. It was flat, and she misses.
They're trying to attack and get to the second side offensively, but once it gets to the second side, that's the prime time to penetrate.
Clark in trouble along the sideline, almost throws it over. Great save by Warnock, and it's Terry diving on the floor for it. Madison Layden goes right at Clark and finishes.
How lanky she is, and her ability to block shots like that.
Warnock pulls it out of the paint. Waltman with the position.
It has to start by getting some defensive stops, and just like that, Purdue came out and was able to generate a turnover.
Well, Waltman did a good job of releasing down there defensively and getting off of Monika Czinano and not allow Monika Czinano to have leverage and then get to the ball line.
Ricky Waltman didn't get a whole lot of playing time against Wisconsin yesterday. Just wasn't quite the right matchup. But tonight already playing an important role. Caitlin Harper comes in to substitute, but she's made some important plays so far.
No doubt, on both sides. She's got the buckets down in the paint as well.
Jayla Smith rising and kissing it off glass along the baseline.
Nice slithering move along the baseline for Smith on that finish. She needs to stay that aggressive as well in her attack of the rim.
Inside to Czinano. She draws the foul on Harper.
Instead of putting that right foot down to turn her back to the corner.
From the sophomore in Smith, who has been waiting her time. She's behind a couple of other guards right now, but playing very well the last couple of games.
Being the positive on the plus-minus line. It doesn't matter how many points, rebounds, and all that stuff. Impact the game and your team in a positive manner.
There were a lot of options on that final play. She said put it in Janae Terry's hands. She'll make the decision. Harper knocking down the three.
That's what Purdue needs to loosen some things up. Needed one of those to fall. Now 2-3 zone here by Purdue again.
Harper last year the WAC Player of the Year, one of the top scorers in that conference. Snatched away by Smith, up ahead to Learn. That was a heads-up play, and then she puts it in.
Chase that down. Follow your teammates. Right? There's nothing worse than, oh man, if I would have been down there, I could have gotten that. No regrets. Go hard. When you shoot it, shoot with confidence. When your teammates shoot, 50-50.
Ava Learn almost forces a turnover. That was tipped, but no, it's going to be a turnover on the Iowa Hawkeyes, who are looking a little disjointed right now. The other way, Purdue turns it over. Coach Gerald has so much praise for Learn, her work ethic. Marshall releases the three. Good work on the glass by Waltman. The front court doing work for the Boilermakers here in the first half. Janae Terry loses it, normally so assured with her possession. Caitlin Clark into the body of Learn, and Learn says no. A whistle, though, at the end of the play.
Caitlin Clark is heated up right there.
Second foul on Madison Layden. First half highlights and analysis, along with getting you up to speed on a busy day from the Big Ten Tournament. It's coming up on the State Farm halftime report. Laisha Petrie, 2 seconds left. Learn doesn't get it off in time, and how about that disciplined stop by the Hawkeyes? Clark double-teamed and hard. Gets it back somehow. Jayla Smith, the rejection. Gets it back from Terry. She has made defensive play after defensive play in this first.
Caitlin Clark was mad as two snakes right there in her attempt to attack the basket. And now she is fired up right here, and I think, was whistled with a technical.
Janae Terry applauding that reaction. Caitlin Clark continues to appeal to the referees.
And here's Caitlin Clark trying to defend Janae Terry because of the physicality on the other side, I believe, a little upset. See Gabbie Marshall trying to calm her down.
So it is officially a technical foul on Caitlin Clark, also a personal foul as well. Terry. It'll be Layden taking it out. Woltman and Learn to the bench. Three-second difference shot and game clock. Petrie, no good from three, ripped down by Gabbie Marshall. And seconds on the clock for Caitlin Clark as she barrels through, and a turnover.
Iowa has not made a shot in the last 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
Good effort by a Fulter. Took some time off the clock, 1.7 to go.
Credit Purdue. I mean, they've made a huge run the last couple of minutes here because of their defensive stops.
Kate Martin gets in the passing lane. It has been the defense that has fueled them back into this game. Now 1.4 on the game clock. Deep inside to Harper. It gets away from Martin. No good at the buzzer. And at the half, Purdue is #1 in the Big Ten in field goal percentage defense. And they are forcing Iowa right now to 36% from the floor. Iowa, #1, 50% as a team this season.
Give Iowa credit, too. They held Purdue to 32% shooting from the floor there in the first half. So they're getting the job done on defense, and that's what Lisa Bluter told Megan McEwen. We're doing what we need to do on defense. We need to be able to score.
Monika Czinano, the quick turnaround. That's how efficient this offense is. Get it to her deep.
Absolutely. Not much you can do, like the X's and O's, the tactical side of it, it all counts on some level, but it's all mentality. Their Katie Gerald's cheering ability.
Look, the intensity right there from the band, too. You know, they make the trip. They're just as invested in staying here in Minneapolis.
Fun stuff.
Caitlin Clark misfires from three. She had 7 in the first half on 3 of 10 shooting right now is where she's at. Alicia Petrie gets that rejected by Czinano. Good look for Ellis and her first bucket.
Penetrating kick. Dribble drive and find.
And with that, 1,500 career points for the Cal Poly transfer and Australian. Stolen away by Kate Martin. She is the glue for this Iowa team. Up to Marshall. Patient, great stop by Alicia Petrie.
That was a key for Purdue. Defensive transition.
Oh, too beautiful, Gabbie Marshall. She is a whole new level player than earlier this season. Confident after a huge comeback win yesterday, the second largest in Big Ten Tournament history, and Cassidy Harden has got the hot hand.
The bench loves it. That thing popped out like somebody hit it from underneath.
Caitlin Clark, what can't she do?
Because Caitlin Clark is unguardable when she has momentum downhill in transition.
Clark up to 9 points now, and now up to 10. And that's officially the 82nd straight double-figure scoring game for Caitlin Clark. That is the best in Division I basketball. Phenomenal. Madison Layden, left wide open, drains the long two.
Can't go under the screen.
Hannah Stuelke completely forgotten about and finishes the easy two. Madison Layden just going to have to put it up, draws iron, and Kate Martin will now ignite this offense. Gabbie Marshall, one dribble, yes! Janae Terry, hand in her face. Ellis battling for that fourth and flip to Clark. Caitlin Clark sizing up the defense. There's a whistle as she was sprinting to the net. Iowa up 41-36, an exciting start. With the NCAA tournament on the line for them in the postseason. Look at the difference between the first and the second half yesterday and their win against Wisconsin, and then today. That is our State Farm state of success.
Well, that gives you confidence, right? You just did it yesterday. Now you can tap in and reference it for today.
Right now, though, it feels like a lot of energy on the side of the Hawkeyes. A 7-0 run. Czinano with 12 points, 5 of 6 shooting. That's a Monika Czinano kind of game. Madison laid in with speed to the rim, and she is fouled.
And that's something to keep an eye on, right?
Well, Iowa has 3 in double figures.
She stays right with her players, in lockstep, mentally with them.
Going to Stuelke, a look for Gabbie Marshall. She misfires, and a foul on the ground, going for that loose ball. Gabbie Marshall, now 3 of 5. Layden goes to the bench with 6 points, but you're right, Christy, where she's made a lot of important plays. Seem to settle down this team, too.
That touchstone for you, if you will, emotionally. You see somebody who is calm, cool, and collected.
Get right back down the floor. Smith slows things down.
It's good to be young, I tell you what. I'll still be in a heap.
Jayla Smith, her confidence off the charts right now.
Leads the team in assist. Just brings so much quality to the floor in terms of production.
Holly Davis, 6 seconds, gets it to Stuelke, denied by Waltman. One more shot for Harden, and it's not there. So we head to the fourth, a 5-point game.
You have to box everybody out, because they go get the rebound. Oh, that's a new 20 seconds, and they just waste time.
And that's the best defense sometimes, is taking a lot of time off the shot clock. Right? So they don't have to contend with Iowa in the quarter court. That's why the score is what it is, because they haven't had as many possessions.
Cassidy Harden flips up the 3. Kate Martin with the rebound. You're exactly right, Christy. How do you slow down this offense? You give them fewer chances to score the basketball.
Coached against a team like that is frustrating. He used to hate that. It's so frustrating.
Caitlin Clark in the corner for 3. Rebound by Ricky Walton, and Clark 1 for 7 today. She's sitting at 10 points right now.
But it is working for Purdue. I mean, they're controlling the pace of this game. And you know that by looking at the score, with Iowa averaging just under 88 points per game, tops in the country.
Jayla Smith. Lots of time for Kate Martin, and she splashes it home.
Big time shot for the Glue. That's her nickname, the Glue.
Janae Terry up and under, so much strength, but she's been off target in the paint today.
And that was a poor shot. I don't know if I like that one as much as the others that she's taken down in there.
Monika Czinano quickly gets it out to Kate Martin. Walton's been so solid against her. Clark finds herself free, and she's got it.
That is something that you don't hear a lot. Clark finds herself free.
Iowa's opened up a 10-point lead, and Coach Katie Gerald calls a timeout. Nearly 60% shooting at the length of Maryland against the speediness of the Illini. Aisha Petrie along 2.
Purdue staying right in the thick of things.
Caitlin Clark, 2 other points at the free throw line. Part of a technical called on Caitlin Clark earlier today. They try to lob it into Learn. Martin goes down hard.
She's just so tough-minded. And that's why I said at this juncture of the season, it's all about your mentality.
Caitlin Clark for 3. Keep Petrie spinning and a soft finish.
That's what they need from Petrie. They need to stay aggressive, and she just hit the deck with some force. And here's the bucket. Petrie behind the back, in between the legs, spinning and getting it up and in with the float game. And then right here, just, ooh, Monika Czinano. Just didn't see her coming. Just crossed paths, and Petrie got the worst of it. Ooh.
Petrie forces up a three, and Caitlin Clark will sky for the board. Lob off ahead. Warnock so good at those rim runs, but it goes through her hands.
Stay within the game plan, even with the score being what it is.
Monika Czinano adding to that. Caitlin Harper free for three. It's too strong. And Caitlin Clark will push it up the floor. Clark, yes! Parents on their feet. And that is to let this young woman score the basketball for you.
Hey, man.
Madison laid in for three. We are a treasure trove. We need a separate channel just for this camera right here.
Well, that was my full-on soul lap, too, so you got two for one.
It's a treat. We appreciate that. Hannah Stuelke deep inside, gets her own miss. By the way, Caitlin Clark, half of her 20 points in this quarter alone. She is 4 of 5 as she plows into Abby Ellis. And an offensive foul on Caitlin Clark. That is her 4th.
She's persistent, trying to get downhill. Abby Ellis limping. You're a hooper, in my book. I don't care how tall you are. Just go. Go for it. Be confident with what you bring to the table. That's what Abby Ellis does every play.
Abby Ellis barreling through and flips it up and in.
Right on cue. That's what she does.
There's Warnock again. Down the floor and an easy 2 for the Hawkeyes. So weak of the top scoring offense in the country is Jayla Smith off the opposite leg. Warnock goes all the way, can't get the finish, but she'll be shooting too. Of a bubble team, they're able to move on after yesterday's second round win, a gritty, gutsy victories. Ohio State and against Illinois, back to back.
Beating those ranked teams and just really bolstered their confidence. Katie Gerald said, I had her right after those 2 wins, and she said our spirit and our pep and our step and practice is different after those 2 wins.
Hannah Stuelke with the strip. Jayla Smith from the same place she hit the game winner yesterday.
They're going to look to trap. Never say never. There's time on the clock. That means there's still some gas in the tank.
She's going to have to play a big role here down the stretch with Madison Layden, a veteran, fouling out of this game. Laisha Petrie, the scoop. Caitlin Clark off to the races, hounded by Ellis and a blocking foul.
Not too many people have found success in cutting off Caitlin Clark in transition. But our Autumn Johnson said there could be 8 teams in the NCAA tournament this year.
Started the year ranked 17th in the nation. Picked to finish 4th in the Big Ten, and look at them now.
9 new players, only 1 returning starter. Brenda Freeze working her magic in College Park.
Where there's been a whole lot of magic.
Absolutely.
Clark has learned on her, trying to shake her free, whips a pass, and Warnock walks to the rim. "20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists for Clark. Warnock has 7. Cassidy Harden, a good look, too strong, and Clark again with the rebound. The crowd here in Minneapolis can feel it, seeing their team trying to move on to the semifinals.
A tough fight, though, still by Purdue, still hanging in there.
Hannah Stuelke go chase after that one, but a turnover. Gabbie Ellis gets into a three and nails it. Ellis had a tough start. Did not get a bucket in the first half after such a great performance against Wisconsin. 19 points yesterday. It was a game that Coach Gerald called gutsy, and they played that way today, but Iowa just too much. Learn it fouls Clark.
Learn put those two hands on Clark.
Reserves checking in for the Hawkeyes. Addison O'Grady, Sydney Folter, Taylor McCabe set the check-in for Clark. And after these free throws, she's got 21. Iowa 1-1 against Maryland. Caitlin Clark greatly picking up her play in the fourth quarter. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in this final frame.
Maryland just defeated Iowa by 28 in their last matchup. They played some staunch defense, and particularly on Caitlin Clark, where they sat and face guarded her in a box-and-one situation. Lisa Bruder said that was the best defense individually that she's seen implemented on Clark.
And Coach Gluter said we would welcome that opportunity to have a shot at Maryland. We would also not love to have that opportunity. Could be Illinois as well, but we do know one thing. It is going to be Iowa moving on, the defending Big Ten Tournament champions. One more from McKenna Warnock.
Phenomenal resilience by Iowa. Took Purdue's best punch and came out on top.
Three made at the buzzer, but inconsequential. 69-58 is the final.